So we are back again with the reading passage through this time, saving the soil. So yeah, prior even actually performing the test, you have to have the habit or maybe the interest in terms of learning something. When a particular passage or the article, when you're engaged in or you're engaged with, you have to be interested in whatever you're observing on. Whatever you're reading, you have to be interested in it. You just learn and get something that is quite, I would say, useful and really insightful information. All right. So now, when you face these kinds of questions in your exam, the summary completion that requires only one word, and we have some kind of classifications, but like they are sentence endings. We have to kind of you know match every ending here. Now, these summary completion comes all the way from it comes the very first three paragraphs or two paragraphs, or it comes through the very last two paragraphs or three paragraphs. But I can totally say that since this is from 14 to 17, there's a very high chance. Like, and I would give it a like a 80 to 85% guarantee that it will come from the very top two paragraphs or even three. So yeah, but there's a very low chance that it will come from the very last, because I don't see anything in terms of global soil map here and whatsoever, all these technical names. Now, another thing you have to know is that sentence endings, they also come in order. Once you find the second, the latter comes as followed. Now, then, the you may use any letter more than once. You have to make sure to know that. This is matching features. Every time you read one paragraph, you understand. You come back and you skim through it, just check if if a particular paragraph suits this feature, to know if exactly this sentence has been mentioned in that paragraph. All right. So yeah, let's get started. So now first thing is like healthy soil contains a large variety of bacteria and microorganisms, as well as plant remains and something. It provides us with food and also with antibiotics, and its function in storing something else. It has a significant effect on the climate. In addition, it prevents a damage to property and infrastructure because it holds so property and infrastructure. If these microorganisms are lost, soil may lose its special properties. The main factor contributing to soil degradation is the something carried out by humans. Carried out means done, something that has happened because of humans. There we go. No, more than a third of the world's soil is endangered, according to a recent UN report. If we don't slow the decline, all farmable soil could be gone in 60 years. Since soil grows 95% of our food and sustains human life in other more surprising ways, that is a huge problem. Now, let's see if we have any information here. 22. A reference to something, an explanation, a example, suggestion, reason. No, there's nothing in terms of that. All right, let's go a little bit more. Uh, Peter Groffman. Peter Groffman. What do we have? Okay. Peter Groffman from the Carey Institute of Ecosystem Studies in New York points out that soil scientists have been warning about the degradation of the world's soil for decades. At the same time, our understanding of its importance to humans has grown. A single gram of healthy soil might contain 100 million bacteria, as well as other microorganisms such as viruses and fungi living amid decomposing plants and various minerals. So, a large variety of bacteria means, so where's that? Contains 100 million bacteria, large variety, and microorganisms, as well as plant remains. Plant remains are what? Or the plant remains? Fungi and plants and various decomposing plants. Fungi are one thing, and various minerals. So this is going to be minerals for us. Minerals. Get that. I'm just gonna highlight this term over here and make sure I'm just gonna make sure that these words are essential for us to understand. So number 14. So it's gonna be minerals. Now, it provides us with a food and also antibiotics in its function in storing something else. So that means soils do not just grow our food, but are the source of nearly all our existing antibiotics and could be our best hope in the fight against antibiotic resistant bacteria. Soil is also an ally, means and support against climate change. As microorganisms within soil digest dead animals and plants, they look in their carbon content, holding three times the amount of carbon, holding three times the amount of carbon. Because it holds carbon. Is it? Okay, we'll say hard and does not enter. Okay. Of carbon does not entire atmosphere. Soils are also stored water, so it provides us with food, probably food, and with antibiotics in its function in storing carbon. Grow our food, but are the source of all, but are the source of nearly all our existing antibiotics, and could be our best hope in the fight against antibiotic resistant bacteria. Soil is also an ally against climate change. Within soil, digest dead animals and plants. They lock in means store in their carbon content. So in content is a different word. Carbon content is some sort of a feature, but I'm gonna say carbon here. Then so we have carbon content. We're gonna highlight that here. Uh, make sure I can highlight this pretty nicely, and I'm just gonna give it a number 15. Um, Soil also store water, preventing flood damage. In the UK, damage to buildings, roads, and bridges from floods caused by soil degradation costs 233 million pounds every year. So, because it holds water, so the word holds kind of mentions about um store, is it? So because it stores water. So another roads, bridges, and infrastructure. So this is going to be number 16, I believe. Yep. We have this and that. Now, if these microorganisms are lost, soil may lose its special properties. The main factor contributing to soil degradation is something covered by humans. If the soil loses its ability to perform these functions, if these organisms are lost, it may lose its special properties. Special properties are like ability to special properties like are providing food and so on. The human race could be in big trouble. The main factor contributing. So the danger is not the soil will disappear completely, but the microorganisms that give it its special properties. There we go. Special properties is special properties again. And once this has happened, it may take the soil thousands of years to recover. Agriculture is by far the biggest problem, which means the agriculture is the answer. Carried out by humans. Agriculture is by far the biggest problems done by humans. In the wild, when plants grow, they remove nutrients from the soil. But then when the plants die and decay, these nutrients are returned directly to enrich the soil. All right. Nutrients contained in the unused parts of harvested crops. So, but when the plants die and decay, these nutrients are returned directly to the soil. Humans tend not to return unused parts of the harvested crops directly to the soil to enrich it, meaning that the soil gradually becomes less fertile. All right, we found another one. However, um, so 18 is going to be may improve the number of that. Contain data from the 9 countries not may not be put back into the soil. Uh, tend not to return. So yeah, help governments. So I think it's gonna be 18 is gonna be C. So I'm gonna remove that and make sure it's like that. Is it? Now, what else? However, 22 to 26. Do you have any B paragraph? B paragraph is about explaining the essence of the soil because it might be removed, and if it is removed and so on, it's going to be in big trouble and stuff like that. But we're not sure. So 22. I don't know. In the past, we developed strategies to get around the problem, such as regularly varying the types of crops grown or leaving fields uncultivated for a reason. B doesn't necessarily respond to anything to here, but C somehow does. Um, In the past, we developed a strategy to get around the problem, such as regularly varying the steps of crops grown or leaving fields uncultivated for a season. Examples of different ways of collecting information, a suggestion for a way, an explanation of how soil stayed healthy before the development of farming. Hmm. Uh, okay. I think this is that is the answer, but so the agriculture is by far the biggest one. In the wild, when plants grow, they remove. This is the first part. That is answering about number question number 23. On the other hand, in the past, we developed how soil started before the development of farming. In the past, we developed strategies to get around the problem. So before the development of farming, in the wild, when plants grow, they remove from the soil, but then when the plants die and decay, these nutrients are returned directly to the soil. Um, so in the past, we developed a strategy to get around the problem, such as regularly varying the types of crops grown or leaving fields uncultivated for a season. So this is going to be number 23 is going to be C. Okay. All right. So now, but these practices, there's more synthetic fertilizers, but these practices became inconvenient. Synthetic fertilizers produced with Haber-Bosch process. But these practices became inconvenient as populations grew, and agriculture had to be run on more commercial lines. A solution came in the early 20th century with the Haber-Bosch process for manufacturing ammonium nitrate. Farmers have been putting this synthetic fertilizer on their fields ever since. So, synthetic fertilizer produced with okay, there's a disturbance here. Sorry for that. Synthetic fertilizers produced with Haber-Bosch process. What happened to that? Hmm. Okay. Oops. So, became inconvenient as population grew and agriculture had to be run on more commercial lines. A solution came to that. But over the past few decades, it has become clear this wasn't such a bright idea. Chemical fertilizers can release polluting nitrous oxide into the atmosphere, and excess is often washed away with the rain, releasing nitrogen into rivers. More recently, we have found that indiscriminate use of fertilizers hurts the soil itself, turning it acidic and salty, and degrading the soil they are supposed to nourish. So, synthetic fertilizers produced with Haber-Bosch process may improve the number of quality. No, that does not improve. It actually pollutes. May contain data from to 9 countries. There's nothing about countries. C is done. May help governments to be more aware of soil-related issues. No, nothing about the mention of government. May cause damage to different aspects of the environment. Is that it? Maybe better use of to a global. Maybe better for use at a global level. I think that's kind of E, if I'm not wrong, because may cause damage to different aspects of the environment is like uh so like different aspects of the environments away with the rain means away with the rain, releasing nitrogen to rivers, also turning it acidic into salt, degrading the soil where they're supposed to nourish different aspects of the different aspects of the environment. Different aspects of the environment. It's pretty much that. I think it's kind of 19 is going to be E because there's nothing more suitable than that. Again, different aspects of the environment are chemical fertilizers can release polluting nitrate oxide into the atmosphere. Excess is often washed away with the rain. So when it's washed away with the rain means it passes from one land to and it slowly, you know, spreads through different kinds of lands through the rain. More recently, we have found that and then releasing nitrogen into rivers. So of course, river flows the water and then slowly passes that particular thing. What is that called? Releasing nitrogen. So yeah. So and then fertilizers hurts the soil itself, turning it acidic and salty and degrading the soil they are supposed to nourish. So yeah, that's the E. So I'm gonna remove that again. Now, so I think we found that different aspects may cause damage to different aspects of the world. It's not something like that. So this is going to be the full answer. I'm just gonna respond to the full answer here. Give it a number 19. Now, and then addition of a mixture developed by Pious floors to the soil. As you can see, 18 and 19 they're following. Yes, you see that. So like, where was 18? We had the 18 here. I want to make sure that write the number here. Now, so D in terms of D, I don't know if we have D. Is there anything for 22? Is it T? Okay. Examples, different ways, cell degradation. Okay, nothing for that. One of the people looking for a solution to his problem is Pius Flores, who started out running. So one thing, addition of a mixture developed by Flores to the soil, something, who started out running a tree care business in the Netherlands and now advises some of the world's top soil scientists. He came to realize that the best way to ensure his trees flourished was take care of the soil and has developed a cocktail of beneficial bacteria, fungi, and humus to do this. Researchers at the University of Valladolid in Spain, what is that? Recently used this cocktail on soils destroyed by years of fertilizer overuse. When they applied Flores mix to the desert like test plots, a good crop of plants emerged that were not just healthy at the surface, but had roots strong enough to pierce dirt as hard as rock. The few plants that grew in the control plots, fed with traditional fertilizers, traditional fertilizers, were small and weak. One number E is reference to one person's motivation for soil improvement project. Flores, Pius Flores. 100%. Yet again, but do we have anything in terms of Pius Flores for nothing? Example of different ways, suggestion of way keeping, a reason why it's difficult. No, nothing about that. However, addition to a mixture of developed flores to soil, it may improve the number of quality of plants growing there. So number 20 is going to be probably A. So of course, may improve the number and quality of plants growing there, right? So what did he say? When they apply force mixed fertilizer, a good crop of plants emerged that were not just healthy at the surface, but had roots strong enough to pierce and how to blah blah blah. All right, we have that answer. I'm gonna take as number 20. Okay, so we're gonna 20 is gonna be this. Again, highlight that and remove it. So it's gonna be A. All right, the idea of zero net soil degradation. We don't have anything about that. However, measures like what was that? The idea of zero net soil degradation. However, measures like this are not enough to solve the global soil degradation problem. To assess our options on a global scale, we first need an accurate picture of what types of soil are out there and the problems they face. That's not easy. For one thing, there's no agreed international system for classifying soil. In an attempt to unify the different approaches, the UN has created the Global Soil Map Project. Researchers from 9 countries are working together to create a map linked to a database that can be fed measurements from field surveys, drone surveys, satellite imagery, LAD analysis, and so on to provide real-time data on the state of soil. Within the next 4 years, they aim to have mapped soils worldwide to a depth of 100 meters, with the results freely accessible at all. May contain the idea of zero net soil degradation. Is there zero net soil degradation in the G paragraph? I think zero net degradation is somewhere around here. I don't know. Like I haven't found anything just far. But F is somehow it's telling me examples different ways of collecting information on soil degradation. This is 100% not probably, but this is an F. Examples of different ways of collecting data. Other researchers, 9 countries are working. So the collecting data is by drone, satellite imagery, lead analysis, and so on to provide real data on the state of the soil. So, a suggestion for a way of keeping types of soil safe in the near future, 25. I don't know. A reason why it is difficult to provide an overview of soil degradation. Ah, reasons why it is difficult to provide an overview of soil degradation. On a global scale, we first need an accurate picture of what types of soils are out there and the problems state. That's not easy. For one thing, there's no agreed international system for classifying soil. There we go. We have another answer. That's going to be 26. 26. 26. Difficult means that's not easy, and it's proving why it's not easy. For one thing, there's no agreed international system for classifying soil. So there's going to be another one. Make sure, make sure you read. You may use any letter more than once. So this is going to be probably 25, going to be probably paragraph G, a suggestion of a way for a way of keeping some types of soil safe in the near future. But this is only a first step. We need ways of presenting the problem that bring it home to governments and the wider public, says Pamela Chasek at the International Institute for Sustainable Development in Winnipeg, Canada. Most scientists don't speak language that policymakers can understand, and vice versa. Chasek and her colleagues have proposed a goal of zero net land degradation, like the idea of carbon neutrality. So the idea of zero net soil degradation, it is like the idea of carbon neutrality. It is an easily understood target that can help shape expectations and encourage action. Mm. Pretty interesting. Um, so for soils on the brink, that may be too late. Several researchers, so let's say it's easily understood target that can help shape expectations and encourage action. Right. For soils in the brink, that may be too late. Several researchers are agitating, I mean, for the immediate creation of protected zones for endangered soils. One difficulty here is defining what these areas should conserve. Areas where the greatest soil diversity is present, or areas of unspoiled soils that could act as a future benchmark of quality. Whatever we do, if we want our soils to survive, we need to take action now. A suggestion for keeping some type of soil safe in the near future, probably G. Suggestions. Okay. One difficulty here is defining what those. Or maybe it's that's not. I don't know if this is a paragraph G 25. Um, so the researchers are agitating for the immediate creation of protected zones for endangered soils. One difficulty here is defining what these areas should conserve. Areas where degraded soil is present, or areas of unspoiled soils. So a reason why it is difficult to provide an overview, I mean, a suggestion for a way of keeping some types of soils in the near future. Probably G, or maybe I may be wrong. But the idea of zero net degradation may contain data from up to 9 universities, may help governments to be aware of solar related issues, may be better for use at a global level. I think that's going to be paragraph, I mean, like option D, because if you say the reason for that is Chelsea says Chelsea says that most scientists don't speak the language policymakers can understand and vice versa. So she has proposed a goal of zero net land degradation, and that was because of because she was influenced from the carbon neutrality and said that it is an easily understood target that can help shape expectation and encourage action. So like be more aware of soil related issues. So that's it. Now, have you done anything else so far? So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, there we go, guys. I'm not necessarily going to be writing any of these kinds of, I mean, these similar kinds of tables here. To be honest, I'm the lazy kind of, just really easy to do that. So I'm not going to be wasting your time. So yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to comment below. I will come with a very, you know, with the very best I think response to your question, if to consider that as a question. So yeah, once again, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to, smash that button, subscribe button. Make sure to like if you liked it. And of course, if you dislike it, you can push that. I mean, you can press on that as well. Thank you very much once again for watching, guys. I will see you on the next episode.